Hello. So it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've been here. Um, and because as often as I like to think that I can multitask, I'm not very good at multitasking. I really like to devote my attention and my energy to things, and it requires a lot of me to do that. So I took some space from doing these food for thoughts to really be able to hold space and hold the container for my cleansers. So I had somewhere around 40 something cleansers doing the fall Ayurveda cleanse with me. And we met 4 times a week. We had a chat group going with just different insights and recipe sharings and things that are coming up because anytime you change anything about yourself, anything about your life, things come up. Beliefs are challenged, ways of being are questioned. You start feeling different things, things that you may have never felt before, and it's like whoa. And then during this cleanse, we're still going through our day-to-day life, right? But it teaches you and helps you build the strength. So whenever life does change, and whenever we are experiencing the winds of change, which we're likely to do because we live in a world that has weather patterns, right? So whenever you are experiencing the winds of change, you are able to stay strong in it. You're not knocked down, your immune system doesn't take a hit, you don't get sick and ill, right? So I had some amazing people that did the cleanse with me, and I wanted to be present with them. So here I am again, and I would like to talk about those winds of change and just kind of give you some awareness and some understanding so you can navigate these winds of change and everything that's coming up with the holiday season and our desire right now to be able to go to retreat, to go into the depths. Like we just had the last full moon of the year. And so it's a time where nature is calling you to come in, to go into your cave, to hibernate. And some of us have like hibernation deep into our into our cells, and other people are like, oh, I can keep going because like the winter really energizes me, and that's different and unique for you. But we're all experiencing the winds of change, and the winds of change are challenging, right? But we need that challenge, we need that stimulation so we can go and be in the waters of forgiveness, right? So a lot of the things that were talked about with the people amongst the cleanse, and a lot of things that are just percolating right now for people in these winds of change and the seasons and transitions is just noticing noticing the role, the active role that you are playing in the life that you are living, right? You can no longer, you can blame other people for the situation that you're in, but it's like, I have to take responsibility. And so then the waters of forgiveness come in, and it's like you see that and you notice that, and it's like, oh wow, I'm sorry I did it that way, and I want to do it differently. Or I did it this way because I had to and it was serving me, but oh, now it's not serving me anymore. And I can do it a different way. I can experience it a different way. I can show up in a different way. And so being in the waters of forgiveness is kind of where we are transitioning to. And so from the waters of forgiveness, then we can make it into this stream of gratitude, right? Which is the allowance of life. And like life is going to happen, and it's going to happen in ways that you may be prepared for, ways that you may not be prepared for. It's going to show up in a variety of different weather patterns for you, and they're going to affect you in a variety of different ways. And they're going to expect the same people that live in your household and experience the same thing in a variety of different ways. And so this is the practice. This is the cycle of life, of like life is gonna continue flowing in the ways that it does, but being in a space of gratitude for life. Being in a space of gratitude for life keeps you in a place of acceptance, which keeps you in a space of not resistance and not blocking, of just like allowing life to pass through you and over you. And Ayurveda teaches that the first stage of disease is resistance. It is the resistance to life flowing through you, life flowing around you. It's the resistance to feeling discomfort. It's the resistance to feeling something, experiencing something when life is like, no, here it is. It needs to be experienced. And so that resistance creates blockages because we stuff it. It's like, I'm resistant to it. I don't want it. So we push it away and we stuff it. And then that creates a dis-ease because life is not able to flow and be channeled through your body like it is meant to be, right? And so instead of having resistance, instead of creating blockages for yourself, be in a space of acceptance. Like, I accept all of it, but I choose what stays, right? I accept all of it to flow in and out of my body because that's what life is intended to do. But I choose how I experience it. And so the people during the cleanse really got to spend time with their digestive systems, their digestion. So they now have the strength to be able to allow life to flow through them freely. And they now have the strength to be able to choose how it's experienced. And then the strength to actually face the ones that are uncomfortable and I don't know how to experience it because I've never experienced it before. And so Ayurveda kind of teaches this as like the process to consciousness, right? It's blocking the flow of life, which is prana, which is life force, which is the flow of consciousness that wants to flow through our bodies. But the perception that we have of this said awareness, the beliefs, the thoughts that we have around this one experience, this one emotion, this one sensation, creates a whole dam in our energy system, in our body, and it creates disease, right? And so taking time to really tune in to where you may be resisting life, where you may be resisting the changes, where you may be resisting the direction that life is like nudging you towards because it's not what you thought it would look like, it's not what you thought it would feel like, it's not what you thought it would taste like. But softening and accepting and allowing it to just be what it is, to just be the experience that is here to be experienced, because it's not good or bad, it just is. And if there's moments of discomfort, there's moments of anger, there's moments of sadness, if there's moments of joy, just let them rise in and then let them go out, just like the breath, and allow life to flow in and flow out, and just being in a space of gratitude for all of the experience, right? Because we are consciousness here in a body to experience life, to notice what it feels like to be alive, what it feels like to be alive. And it's meant to feel good. It's meant to be joyous. It's meant to be invigorating. It's meant to be vital and vivacious, but it's the ways that we block it that create so much suffering. And I'm so speaking to myself, like I sit in this, frequently. Anytime I experience discomfort, it's like, okay, what am I resisting? And why am I resisting it? And how can I soften into it? And sometimes it's a process of where I have to feel my emotions. I have to eat my emotions. I have to restrict something from my diet because I'm using it as a drug and not a medicine anymore, right? So being true, being honest with yourself, it's accountability. and being able to hold yourself accountable. And so it was really great to experience 14 days with the people who did the Ayurveda cleanse with me and hear them going through this process and witnessing them going through this process and allowing their process to take me through my process, because we go through it day in and day out. And so I wanted to extend an invitation to you, an invitation that I extended to the my cleanse group, is I'm offering a 4-week course as just 4 weeks to spend a little bit of time getting to know yourself from a consciousness perspective, from an Ayurvedic perspective, from an elemental perspective, from I just want to learn my patterns perspective, right? And so 4 weeks where you learn about yourself through the concept of doshic analysis, right? And so the doshas, there's 3 doshas in Ayurveda. There's Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, and they all have a specific role. They're energy types. And we have all of these energies in our bodies, but the way they are organized are different for everybody. So the first week, we're going to talk about the doshas, the different characteristics and qualities of the doshas, what that word means, and where your imbalances are when you resonate with one of these doshas. So you might hear people say, if you've heard about Ayurveda, like I'm a Vata, or I'm a Pitta, I'm a Kapha. And that's just telling people where your imbalances are. It's like, this is where I struggle in life. I'm a Vata, and this is where I struggle in life. So I'm going to tell you that. And then throughout each week, we're going to learn how to manage, how to navigate those life as having those typical imbalances, through circadian rhythm, the rhythms of the day, whether you're in tune with them, whether you're not in tune with them, and how the doshas affect the energy at different times of day. Like, do you have a favorite time of day? When are you most productive? When are you most restful? Like, how do you show up every hour of every day? And then talking about the tastes of Ayurveda. That is how Ayurveda uses food and herbs as medicine, is through the taste, and through healing using the geographical map of the tongue. So we'll really dive into that. And then the last week is learning how to use food as medicine, learning the food principles of Ayurveda, how to create a nourished bowl using the 6 tastes of Ayurveda, augmenting foods versus extracting foods, how to pair them, and which ones are best for your type if you are navigating the imbalances of a Vata, Pitta, or Kapha. So this is just 4 weeks to empower you and to equip you with knowledge and wisdom about your body that you can easily apply to your everyday life. Because one of the questions that I get, it's like, wow, Ayurveda is so big and I feel like I have to learn all of these things. And I really broke it down to where it's like, yeah, you're right, it is so big. And it is like a lifetime of learning if you want to kind of do what I did and like devote your life to studying it. But it doesn't have to be so complex in that way to where you have to know all of that to be able to live an Ayurvedic lifestyle in a modern world. That's cool, an Ayurvedic lifestyle in a modern world. But anyway, so you're invited to the 4-week course. I'll drop the link in the description. And as always, just pay attention. Pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to your reactions, your responses, your resistances, what you like, what you don't like. Just pay attention. And as always, sending you guys so much love. Bye.